Hi, I'm Tom Freer. I'm the owner and CEO at Wyntec, and we're an IT services company making IT stress-free for organisations. My business turns over around $2 million a year. Been running for 9.5 years now, and we've got a team of 14 across Australia and the Philippines. Prior to meeting the team at Kaibizzen, I'd probably been running the business for around 5 or 6 years. And things have been going okay, and we've been growing and all those sorts of things, and got into a bit of a challenging situation within business, and which sort of led me down a path of not sure if I want to do this anymore type of thing. So that was probably a turning point for me personally as to what I actually wanted to do with the business, and whether or not I wanted to keep doing what I was doing. So that turning point within me, I suppose, specifically looked at had a business that was growing really well but struggling from a cash flow perspective. We had clients that didn't necessarily fit the way that we wanted to do business, and it was stretching me both professionally and personally and mentally and everything that goes in between. So I think personally it was questioning. Well, I was questioning myself whether I could do what I set out to do, and probably at that point was not actually knowing what I'd set out to do. So that was a big part, which I think was then driving a lot of frustration around, frustration for me as to why I hadn't achieved what I thought I wanted to achieve, when actually in hindsight I probably hadn't defined what I wanted to achieve. Prior to coming and working with Kaibizzen, I'd tried business coaches before. I'd had some group coaches, I'd had bigger mastermind style arrangements and processes, and I think I'd learnt a lot, but really struggled to apply what I'd been learning, and where to apply that, I guess, is probably the one thing. So I probably invested a lot of money, a lot of time, and knew a lot, but wasn't actually doing anything with it. So I'd learnt a lot and got a lot of knowledge and skills, but hadn't actually applied it. And I think there was some of that was around possibly looking for a silver bullet to solve some problems, and when that wouldn't, then I wouldn't apply it because it wasn't doing things the way I wanted or expected that outcome to be. So I think it was having the tools, not knowing, or having the tools and looking for a silver bullet, but then not necessarily knowing how to apply those to actually achieve the result that I wanted. So I was introduced to Rob at a networking event and had a meeting with Rob, just to get a feel for how, I suppose, Kaibizzen did their business coaching thing. I think the one thing that stood out to me was the speed and depth at which Rob could get to some of the challenges I was facing very quickly within the course of that first meeting, and that's sort of what made me get on board. So the initial impact that Kaibizzen had on me and my business, I think first and foremost was more personally. It was really, the impact was on me. I had all the tools, I had all the knowledge of what needed to be done to run the business. I think the biggest thing was believing that I could do it and that I knew what I was doing. So my time working with the team at Kaibizzen, there was a big impact on me personally and my belief and all that sort of stuff that I could deliver. But I think one of the big areas that sort of was the light bulb moment throughout the process was getting absolute clarity on what it was that I personally wanted to achieve, which was then able to be translated in what the business needed to look like, which has been probably the single biggest improvement in the where I'm working towards. So the clarity I got from working with Kaibizzen was personally about what I could actually achieve, but what goes hand in hand with that is the actual clarity of knowing the specifics around how I want to live my life and what I want to get out of my life for me and my family, and knowing that the business is the vehicle to help me do that. So knowing now very, very clearly what the business needs to look like, what my role is within that business, has really helped me moving forward. So having the clarity about what I want personally and what I want the business to look like, in all honesty, it's a load off. It's one less thing I have to worry about. It's defined, it's clear, and it's motivating. It's really quite easy to see what that's going to look like and the steps I need to do to achieve that.